Welcome to the Dutch Miller Auto Show.
Today on the Dutch Miller Auto Show.
I am the opposite. I'm so far out. You will send me somebody every now and then. You'll find somebody new and send it to me. I'm excited to go see Pearl Jam in May, and that's where I'm at music taste wise.
Well, if you're in the car with my daughter, we're listening to Lainey Wilson, who's a country music star.
Never heard of.
Yeah, pretty good stuff. My kids like Noah Kahan.
You sent me a Noah Kahan song.
He's good, yeah.
I did enjoy that.
You know, Chappelle Roan's the new hot thing
Is
out there
that the Pink
right
Pony
now.
Club?
Yes, that is.
You know that
exactly
song
right.
is actually All Star by Smash Mouth?
It is. Hey now, you're an all-star. Get your game.
It's the Dutch Miller Auto Show. Entertaining West Virginia for over 15 years. With your host, Chris Miller and Wes Thompson. Recorded on location right here in Huntington, West Virginia. And now, Chris and Wes.
We are back. I'm Chris Miller along with
Wes Thompson.
and this is the Dutch Miller Auto Show. We have been talking to you guys for years and years and years. How long have we been doing
Well,
this show?
I've been a part of it. This June it'll be 13 years, but I gotta say, Chris, we've been off the air the last couple of months. We took a little break.
We did.
We took a little break, and so it's good to be back.
It really is good to be back. And you know what? We are the area's only car dealership that has 400 to 600 cars in stock, priced below $250 a month. And there are times where we have up to 1,000 vehicles in stock at any given time. Let me give you an example. Right now, as of this very minute, we have 574 pre-owned vehicles just in the state of West Virginia.
And you've been beefing up your pre-owned inventory.
We have.
You've been taking
We
a
have.
lot in on trades. People are buying cars. You're getting trades in, but you're also going out and actively seeking pre-owned cars.
We have had an incredible amount of people just sell us their cars. And it's been off the charts. And
Well, and 2025 could be a big pre-owned year.
it is
And
going to be a huge pre-owned year.
So Dutch Miller Automotive is the website you can go to and see all of the inventory across all of the Dutch Miller stores. Chris, we're talking about the west end of Huntington. You've got Dutch Miller Chevy and Hyundai. You've got Dutch Miller Kia Barbersville, Dutch Miller Kia of South Charleston, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of South Charleston, Subaru of Charleston, Ripley, Ford, Dutch Miller Ford of Ripley, Dutch Miller Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Ripley, and of course we also have stores in Beckley, Dutch Miller's Beckley Auto Mall, and then Withville, and we got stuff in Kansas and North Carolina, but I mean...
It's just, the list goes on and on and on and on. It's pretty cool considering the fact that 2 generations ago, my grandfather was born on a dirt floor in Bear Creek, Kentucky.
How about that? Out there, right there in my neck of the woods.
Yeah, and you know, if you talk about a really cool story, this is a true story. Dutch, my grandfather, when he was 5, his mom died, and his dad remarried, and the new mom didn't want Dutch. And so they sent him away to live with his sister, who was 18 years old. And so the only thing that he knew at the age of 5 was loss of his mother and abandonment. And then he was also dyslexic. And so everybody going up through school, they didn't know what that was back then. So they just said he was dumb. And so he was told he was dumb his whole life. And then when World War II rolled around, he got involved in World War II, and the Marines figured out that he was actually really, really smart, and they made him a fighter pilot. And so he became a fighter pilot for the Black Sheep Squadron in World War II and the Korean War. Then, after he came back home...
Look up the Black Sheep Squadron, by the way.
Those are the ragtag, elite, wild and crazy, like special... They flew Corsairs, and he flew Corsairs with the Black Sheep Squadron in World War II and the Korean War. When Dutch came back home, though, his father-in-law had a car dealership in Ashland, Kentucky, called Sheet Chevrolet, and Dutch didn't want to work for his father-in-law. So he came across the river to Huntington and started working at Roger Dean Chevrolet. Worked his way up to the general manager role, starting out as a salesman. And then Roger Dean wanted to buy a Chevrolet store in Florida. And Chevrolet knew we can't lose Dutch Miller, so they said, we'll approve you for that store in Florida, but you have to sell this store in West Virginia to the Dutch. So that's how our family got into business. Woo! That's the brief history of HD Dutch Miller. And 2 generations later, here we are, still going. And we took what he started as 1 dealership, my dad turned into 2 dealerships, and now my brother and I are involved, and we've got 13 of them.
And if you count the pre-owned stores, you're at 16 rooftops.
Sure, yeah.
And by the way, speaking of the pre-owned stores, there's one right here in our area, Chris, and that's in Cerrito Canova.
There is.
Right
yeah.
there at CK. Stop off and see our buddy Fred, right?
Yep, the old Larry McCoy store, and that is now a Dutch Miller used car outlet, and we sell a bunch of cars out of that little location, and one of my really close friends, a guy named Fred Ellsworth, is there running it, so stop by and see Fred. Everybody knows Fred.
I may have had a couple of good times with Fred.
I'd say that's
I
accurate.
had a couple.
Yeah.
If he's watching this right now, he's going, ho.
Yeah. Oh, geez.
Good old Fred.
Where's the time go, man?
Chris, everyone's using AI to do things faster and more efficiently. I think we should use it to create the next commercial.
That's a great idea. AI, create what you think is the perfect Dutch Miller commercial.
Sheesh. They're not that absurd.
Let's just stick to friends and family pricing.
Right now, get financing as low as 1.9% for 60 months on brand new 2025 Sorrentos.
At Dutch Miller Jeep of South Charleston, it's not just about Jeeps, it's about you. Your time, your money, your experience. That's why every new Jeep comes with friends and family pricing. No pressure, no games, just the best deal up front. So whether it's adventure, freedom, or just something that fits your life better, your next chapter starts here.
With Employee Pricing Plus, get up to $6,500 off MSRP on brand new Jeep Grand Cherokees.
Shop 24/7 at DutchMillerJeep.com.
And Chris, you were about to talk about pre-owned vehicles at Dutch Miller Automotive, and one of the things that, that's on a lot of people's minds right now is like their payment, their money. What are expenses going to be in 2025? People are thinking about this right now. And so when you're thinking about affordability in the car market, people are going to think about things like pre-owned vehicles, or they're going to think about leases. And I think Dutch Miller's kind of covering all their bases here.
Yeah, they are. Wes, I think it's about time you share with everybody out there what happened with you recently when it came to leasing a vehicle.
Well, so I had a Chevy Silverado. Loved my Chevy Silverado. I still had one of the ones with the big V8 engine in it. It was black on black. It was a cool truck. I had a good time in that truck. But I was wanting to lean it up a little bit, and I was kind of interested. I've been looking at different EVs, and at Dutch Miller Chevy right there on the west end, they had a really cool black with the red and black interior. If you're checking it out, it's a Blazer 2025 Blazer EV RS. And this thing's it's quick and fun. And so I ran it through a lease. And Chris, you'll probably do a better job of explaining this, but they apply the tax credit for the EV to the lease. And what it ends up doing is it reduces your payment drastically. So I cut my payment on a brand new 2025 Blazer EV. I cut my monthly payment in half, traded in the Silverado, cut my payment in half, and I don't pay for gas. So
you're saving about $300 a month just in gas.
Well, with the two things combined, I'm saving between $500 and $600 a month.
Say that one more time.
Between the payment and the gas, I'm saving depending on the month, $500 to $600 a month, and I'm still driving around in a brand new vehicle. It's just a lot of fun.
So this is interesting because it's one of the things we're seeing a big increase in. Lots of families are looking at a second vehicle as an EV vehicle. The car that they use to get back and forth in town to pick the kids up from school or drive just back and forth to work, not going on long road trips, but just the around town car. The around town second car, people are buying EVs as opposed to gas vehicles. So they're still buying their full-size SUV or their full-size truck or their van to haul everybody around in, to go on long trips. But their second car, they're buying an EV. This is the first time that I've seen it in West Virginia, but it's happening. And people are dramatically reducing the amount of money they're spending in gas on a monthly basis. And because of the huge incentives when they lease them, they're cutting their payments in half. So this is happening at all of our stores. It's happening at the Chevrolet stores, the Kia stores, the Subaru stores. It's happening at the Ford store. It's happening at all of the stores that have good lease programs and electric vehicles. So anybody else that's out there watching that wants to look at a second vehicle, cut their payment dramatically down and dramatically get rid of their gas expense, it's what people are doing.
And I'll tell you, first of all, I love my Blazer EV, but they also make an Equinox that's really nice, the Equinox EV, and they also have the Silverado as well. Don't get me wrong, and then they're pretty cool. But and then at the Jeep level, there's what's called the Wagoneer S. And so from a size standpoint, it's basically between the Grand Cherokee and the Grand Wagoneer. So it's about in between those two things size-wise, but it's a complete EV as well. And I'm not joking. I was just talking to the GM over there at that store in South Charleston, Chris. That's Brian Bales, an awesome guy. If you go in and ask for Brian, he'll take great care of you. He was talking to me about people walking out with leases that were sub $300.
Yeah.
I mean, that's it's incredible right now. And you're talking about a brand new vehicle. And,
Those are lease payments. You got like a $280 lease payment. That was lease payments from like the late 90s, early 2000s.
Oh, I remember my Honda Civic in 1995. I want to say my payment was $300 a month.
There are people leasing cars right now for $200 and $300 a month. It's we never thought we'd be back there, but guess what? We're here again. And thank goodness for the incentives in EV vehicles, because that's another way that people are saving an incredible amount of money.
And for people that are kind of curious about that process too, I want to tell them a little bit about it, but just real quick, Chris, just because, so you can, first of all, when you're traveling, you can just get an adapter so you can hook up to like a Tesla charging station with your, like, say, Chevy EV. But what you can also, it comes with its own tier 1 charger. Now this is going to go, like, let's call it, depending on how you do the settings, you can get it up to like maybe 4 miles per hour of charge. So if you're only traveling, 15, 20 miles a day, you can basically charge that back overnight. If you charge it in at you plug it in at 10 p.m. and unplug it at 8 p.m., you've added another, 20 to 30, 25 miles to the car. But I went ahead and I took the extra step. I got the tier 2 charger. You put that in your garage, and by the way, suddenly you're charging at, 25 to 35 miles per hour of charge. So you're completely full by the time you go out in the morning. It's incredible.
And just to reiterate it another way, every one of these manufacturers has their own EV charger, but there's adapters that come with them, so that way you can take your EV anywhere around the country. All you do is pop on the adapter and you can charge your vehicle anywhere. So
I want to say in Lexington, Kentucky, if I go from Ashland to Lexington, in Lexington, there's like 47 different charging stations where I can charge my vehicle.
Only.
Well, and actually there's 70-something EV charging stations, but there are like 47 that will specifically charge mine.
All right, so I'm just going to get out there. I'm going to get on the limb and say this, by the way. Here's the crazy thing that people don't realize. All of the EV vehicles all along the East Coast, do you know what they really are? They're coal-powered cars. Every single one of those vehicles is powered by coal. That's the best part. So EV vehicles, they're coal-powered cars. No one's saying it, but it's the truth.
I was in the car with someone the other day, and they talked about the irony that somebody had driven by, and they were in an EV, or maybe it was a hybrid, but they had one of those Friends of Coal license plates, and they were talking about the irony of it, and I go, it's actually not that ironic.
No.
It actually kind of makes perfect sense. The base load required to power the electricity is coming from, as you would imagine, coal.
High monthly payments and soaring prices continue to plague the Beckley area. Who will be the truck buyer's champion? Will anyone save us?
I'm the man, I'm the truck man.
Beckley, never fear. Truckman is here.
Truckman saves the day with deals like this. For a limited time, get up to $10,000 off in-stock new GMC Sierras. GMC, we are professional grade.
Chris, everyone's using AI to do things faster and more efficiently. I think we should use it to create the next commercial.
That's a great idea. AI, create what you think is the perfect Dutch Miller commercial.
Sheesh. They're not that absurd.
Let's just stick to friends and family pricing.
With 3.49% financing, buy this Kia Sportage for an incredibly low $499 a month with no money down.
Here's a shocker. You can't power a country on windmills and solar panels. You gotta have baseload power. You know what gives you baseload power? Coal, natural gas, and hydroelectric power. All of the EV cars all around the country are coal-powered cars.
By the way,
we need like a thing all along the bottom, Dave, with like fireworks and just explosions. EV vehicles equal coal power, and then like flames and stuff. Can you handle that?
I can.
I love it when we've got really good producers.
As a nice segue.
Segway.
Inquire
Also coal powered, by the way.
Yeah,
A
coal-powered Segway.
Are they still around?
Driving to your new home in your new coal-powered EV, what new artist should you be listening to in that new EV? Because I know you guys are plugged in to some of the new artists out there.
I am the opposite. I'm so far out. You will send me somebody every now and then. You'll find somebody new and send it to me. I'm excited to go see Pearl Jam in May, and that's where I'm at music taste wise.
Well, if you're in the car with my daughter, we're listening to Lainey Wilson, who's a country music star.
Never heard of.
Yeah, pretty good stuff. My kids like Noah Kahan.
You sent me a Noah Kahan song.
He's good, yeah.
I did enjoy that.
You know, Chappelle Roan's the new hot thing
Is
out
that the
there
Pink
right
Pony
now.
Club?
Yes, that is
You know that
exactly
song
right.
is actually All Star by Smash Mouth?
It is. Hey now, you're an all-star. Get your game on.
If you actually
Go.
listen,
Hey,
it is
yeah.
it is actually a carbon
Pink
copy of that
Pony
song.
Club. I'm gonna keep on dancing with the hey now, you're a rock star. Get your
If
game
you-
on. Go play Pink Pony Club. I'm gonna hey now. It's the same thing.
You can actually go on YouTube and they have mashups where that
Nice.
shows the seamless nature of it.
Dave, can you post a link right there on the show as well for
Dave
that?
loves it when we add
I know,
when we add
yeah,
production slides.
yeah.
Absolutely. Favorite part of the job.
It is. He came in today asking if he could do that.
Sweet.
There's one. What's this one? This song that I would listen to in my car. I want to say it's called Messy. God, what an old guy thing to do. I think it's. I have no idea who the artist is.
Now next you have to look at your wife and go, what was the name of that
And,
one,
and by
sweetheart?"
the way, I bet you Messy's not even close.
Okay, all right, yeah. Now my wife would remember, by the way, she'd go, you mean that one? I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I've been enjoying that song.
By Lola Young.
Lola Young, that sounds right. That sounds right.
She did,
Lola Young.
hang on, Conceited.
Yeah, I don't
Good song by Lola
I don't
Young. It's
know
called
any.
Conceited,
By the way,
yeah.
when I was younger, I said I will never be the person who's not up on what's happening in music currently. No.
You're right.
No, if you look at my playlist right now, it's somewhere between Pearl Jam, Dr. Dre,
Conceited. I know this because I've got an 18-year-old and a 16-year-old boys and a 12-year-old little girl. And she likes this song.
I mean, I know a lot of Taylor Swift songs because of my kids, and I know the entire Hamilton soundtrack.
Hang on, here comes.
I swim too quickly.
It's a good one.
I don't know that song.
It's good.
I can
I'll send it
honestly
to
say it. Yeah, way out of touch. Dave said, I know you guys are plugged in. I'm apparently over here just like going and cranking.
Well-
I don't even have like a running electric.
In our house, we like Lainey Wilson because she actually talks about like family values and being raised in the South and like good old fashioned like grandma's homemade apple pie and that kind of stuff. And
That's
it's-
why I listen to
and
Dr.
going to
Dre.
church. Shocker, right?
That's why I listen to Dre.
That's great.
Same reasons.
Mayflowers are blooming, and there's 3 things I can't wait to do. Take my wife fishing. She'll catch dinner, I'll catch a sunburn. Build a scarecrow so lifelike it's got a date on Friday night. Grab some wood to throw in my smoker and load it up in my brand new truck from Dutch Miller Ram of South Charleston.
With Employee Pricing Plus, get up to $11,500 off MSRP on brand new Ram 1500s or choose 3.9% financing for 72 months.
We're just having a blast selling cars. People are buying cars. We're selling cars. We're helping people get really good deals. Interest rates are coming down. I mean,
Interest rates are coming down. That's
Yeah.
something people would like to hear.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you something else, Chris. When it comes to quality of vehicles, first of all, you're talking about companies like Kia that every year end up either in first place or like second place in most reliable. And we're talking about the big dogs. We're talking about J.D. Power. We're talking about Car and Driver. I mean, these cars. The Telluride, I want to say, was Car of the Year a couple years in a row there. But Kia ranks top reliability. Gosh, it went on like a 6-year run at number 1. I think people don't realize this sometimes. My wife right now, so she drives a Hyundai Palisade. I know Dave, our camera guy, also has a Palisade. You still have your Palisade, Dave?
Roger that.
And I'll tell you, of the vehicles that we've owned, the Palisade, it might be my favorite. As far as the value goes, the dollar spent on an SUV, the money that you're spending on a Palisade, a car of equal options and luxury is a $20,000 more expensive SUV. That's what I'm going
I
to
got
say.
three things to say. First off, Wes is exactly correct. Between the Kia Telluride and the Hyundai Palisade, there is no better vehicle built and sold in the United States of America than those two vehicles. When you come to overall bang for your buck and dollar for dollar, those two full-size SUVs of all the cars in the history of mankind, those are the best ones dollar for dollar built and sold in the United
And you
States
said
of America.
built, and a lot of people are saying,
Built
but wait,
and
Chris,
sold.
those are not American companies. You got to realize these companies have plants in the United States. What's that? So Kias are made down in Georgia, right?
West Point, Georgia is where Kia manufactures, Hyundai manufactures in Alabama, Subaru manufactures in Indiana.
Now you talk about a quality vehicle. Subaru's through the roof.
It really is.
Number one in Consumer Reports, the Subaru, and number one in number of overall cars still on the road 10 years later, more than any other manufacturer. Subaru, and I mean, they're famous for being safe, if we're going to talk about it.
Toyota builds in West Virginia and Kentucky. Honda builds in Kentucky. There's all of these vehicles are manufactured in the United States of America.
And any of these vehicle manufacturers you can get at Dutch Miller Automotive. You just got to go on DutchMillerAuto.com and you can get, because you trade for vehicles all the time of any make, any model. You even trade for motorcycles every now and then.
Let me give you an example really quickly. I'm looking right now at a 2018 Kia Soul. It's priced at $9,381. That is a $160 a month car payment. If you're looking for a great little fuel-efficient, safe vehicle for your kid to go back and forth to school or to send them off to college, ding, 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 we have a winner.
You know
It's just
who
a great
else
little
loves
car.
the Kia Soul? Dead serious. Like retirees.
Oh, yeah.
Retirees love them. They're roomy. They've got storage in the back. They're easy to get in and out of.
Very much so.
They're
like
on
little-
gas.
Yeah. They're like little fuel-efficient SUVs.
Yeah.
You know, great vehicles. And you can get online to DutchMillerAuto.com and look at all of our pre-owned vehicles right now in stock. And you can see them all. You can search by year, make, model, price. They're right now, this will blow your mind. Right now, we have 158 vehicles priced under $20,000 as we speak in stock in our West Virginia lots. Now, those cars will sell very, very quickly because they're in very, very high demand, because those are the $330 and under price points. That's what everybody's looking for. They sell really, really, really fast, but we have them coming every single day. So if you're looking for something like that, all you have to do is get online right now to DutchMillerAuto.com and you will find all of our pre-owned vehicles. All of them. They're all right there. I can name a whole bunch more of them for you right now. Here's a Chevy Silverado. Here's that Kia Soul we were talking about. There's a Honda Accord. There's a Cadillac Escalade. There's another Kia Soul.
You got a
There's
Tesla.
a Tesla. By the way, we sell everything. If you look at right now and we go to make and click on make, we have BMWs, Audis, Cadillacs, Chevrolets, Chryslers, Fiats, Harley Davidsons, Hondas, Jeeps, Infinitys, Lincolns, Mercedes, Nissans, Subarus, Toyotas, Scion.
I think you should just say all
Tesla,
cars. Just say all
everything.
cars. Do you have a radio flyer on there?
We do not, but we have gone as far as traded for pigs and horses and saddles before.
I tell you what, Chris.
And mobile homes.
First of all, folks, DutchMillerAuto.com is where you can find all this. Dave just told us we've only got about 2 minutes left, and there was one thing I wanted to bring up before we went off the air.
Please do.
An organization that's very close to Chris and I. It's called War Dog Guardians. You can go to WarDogGuardians.com. If you're ever looking for something where you said, hey, I want to donate $10, $20, I want to donate to something that's really meaningful, this organization is going over to dogs that are veterans of, we're talking about Afghanistan, we're talking about Iraq. It's remarkably difficult to rescue these dogs and get them back to the States. And there's a team that in place that is doing just that. And they're rehabilitating these amazing animals and they're pairing them up with veterans that need them here in the United States. These dogs help with everything from PTSD, they're service dogs, they could even be trained to work in schools. There's a lot of different things that this organization is doing that's really great. They're trying to get off the ground and running, and they're really important with a lot of great people involved. WarDogGuardians.com. Click the donate button. You can go through PayPal or I want to say Venmo. If I'm wrong about that,
Those guys out there listening, you mark my words. By helping contribute and donate to War Dog Guardians, you will be on the forefront of changing school safety forever. Because the entire idea is to get these trained military dogs placed with a veteran and then put inside of schools. It eliminates any sort of wait or delay. They can get to any issue or any emergency or any active scenario faster than anybody else possible and completely de-escalate the situation.
And by the way, Chris,
That's the future.
And by the way, there's also a whole other side to this. So that's like what they would call those are the pointy-ear dogs that can do basically seek and destroy, essentially, right? Search and destroy. But then there's a whole facet of this where we can send in floppy-eared dogs that they can smell anything. They can detect things in book bags. They can basically thwart something before it becomes an issue. They can actually smell gunpowder in a gun that has been cleaned out completely. In fact, Mariah that we work with on this, she would totally criticize me for blowing this part of the conversation right now, but she can tell you weird things these dogs can smell when it comes to a gun that's maybe even never been fired before.
That's incredible. WarDogGuardians.com. Get online and check that out. They need your support.
Chris, you know what? It's good to be back on the air. 2025 is here. We're going to have a great year. Summer's about to hit. It's getting warmer. And the deals are getting hot, right?
Deals are getting hot. Let's go.
Subaru's industry-leading safety technology and legendary reliability are built to protect what matters most, you and your family. And when it comes to value, our friends and family pricing means you get the best deal right up front. No games, no pressure, just award-winning vehicles and a team that treats you like one of their own.
Get 3.9% financing for up to 63 months on new Outbacks or 5.9% for 72 months on Forester hybrids.
Shop 24/7 at DutchMillerSubaru.com.